right, welcome to the Fish Wrap TV post-game show. We've got Chris Parker here and Q. We've got a few questions. We're still celebrating your board birthday, 40th anniversary of signing the book and getting your badge. So one of the questions I had is, who are you trading with, or were you independent? How'd you get your start?
When I first got my seat in 1981, I was working for Pillsbury. I spent 1 year from 1980 to 81 on staff with Pillsbury. I was in the pit, but I wasn't a member. And then March of 1981, Pillsbury decided to give me a badge and put me in the pits. So I traded for Pillsbury in the pits from March of 81 until I left to found Transmarket Group. That was October of 82. So I spent about a year and a half after I got my seats, and Pillsbury was the biggest wheat trader in the world, so it was the best job possible.
Yeah. At
that stage, and of course, I'm 66 now, so I was 26 at the time. I couldn't believe Pillsbury put me in there to do this, but here we are.
So when we have behind us, we brought one of the pieces of history here, the print, Richard Borso print. Tell us a little more about this. What's here?
The thing is that this print and this artist came in, and I remember him standing up in the gallery taking pictures. And usually it's like people, coming in like tourists taking little pictures. But this guy had a big camera system, and I had no idea what was happening. And all of a sudden, they put this print out, and I go, God, that's the wheat pit. And then I look at it and I go, wait, I'm in there.
So let's see if we can point you out. Right there?
That's me.
Dark blue jacket?
Dark blue was Pillsbury at the time.
Yeah. What color was it at Transmarket Group?
Pink. Well, actually, salmon. Because,
be precise.
Yeah. Every time I said, Ray, why in the hell do we have pink jackets? He goes, they're salmon. Q. So.
Yeah, any style comments on those choices, Chris?
I will say no comment. I wouldn't want to wear a salmon jacket, but all right, if it works.
Yep.
Well, it worked because there was, as you can see in the print there, it was unique on the floor, and nobody had the guts to actually wear pink jackets. So anyway, it worked out for the time. And what was ridiculous is that my old boss at Pillsbury, Tim, who was our bean trader, I brought him on as a partner of Transmarket Group. He would not wear that pink jacket. So
put his foot down.
He got his own navy jacket, and Ray, who was owned the company, owned Transmarket Group, Ray Common. He said, take it out of his account.
I can respect that. I'm not the biggest fan of pink either, or salmon.
All you have to do is get some salmon color Stacey Adams, and
there you go.
Make it work.
And of course, the wheat pit was famous for fights. We used to have at least one a week. I got knocked out twice cold in a fight.
Not your usual work environment?
No. And actually, the guy in the red jacket over here, the sheriff, knocked me out both times.
Wait, was it the sheriff, one of your best friends?
Yes. But I wasn't paying attention. I was working at Pillsbury, and I was going through all my accounts. Sorry about that. I'm getting my count. And all of a sudden, he and Warner got into it right in front of me, literally right in front of me. And Warner ducked, and he just cold-cocked me. And I was standing on the top step, like I always did. And I went spread eagle down the 3 steps and spread eagle on the floor, out cold. And
so it wasn't even intended for you. You're just collateral damage.
No, the thing is, sheriff knocked me out both times, and it's because the guy ducked in front of me.
With friends like that, who needs enemies?
Right. Well, the thing is, the sheriff was he was a Texas badass, and he didn't start fights; he finished them in the pits there.
So, yeah, well, there's another person that you usually point out when you're showing that, one of your mentors.
Yes. In the powder blue jacket right in front of me was John Lehman. John was a god in the wheat pit. And when I say that, I mean he was probably one of the 3 or 4 best wheat traders on the planet. And he took me under his wing, and I asked him a couple questions about what I was seeing. And he goes, kid, he said, I think you better come up to my house, and we're going to talk this weekend. And I go, well, where do you live? And he goes, Lake Geneva. And this guy was so good. He was so big. He actually flew in every day from Lake Geneva in the mixed field on his own private jet. And this is 1982. That was when it was serious money. And so I went up to Lake Geneva. His neighbor was William Wrigley. And I mean, he lived in a shack that was unbelievably big. And we, what we did was, we just talked about spreads and butterflies and relationships and how the board, actually the engineering of the backboards, as we call them, the back options. And it was just an unbelievable experience. And within a year, he died at the age of 50. But it was really, it's the 3 or 4 guys, and a couple of them are right there in that picture, that really took me under the wing and got me to control my emotions, because I was absolutely crazy when I first started trading. And, I just couldn't get under control, but they helped me get it done.
Yeah, dialed it in.
I dialed it in. And, now looking at me, I'm just like a iron laser about trading and stuff like that. You'd have never known me 40 years ago.
So yeah, we all got a little feistiness.
Yeah, a little feistiness, but nothing. Well, the thing is, I got so crazy on a couple people, they called me Manson for a year.
Oh.
Yep. So that, what was the other one? God Emperor of Wheat?
Yes, after I took Cargill to the rack in March of 1986. And what that means is that I took a limit position against Cargill in delivery and went all the way to the rack, which means I went to the last minute of the last day of trading in delivery. And nobody had ever done that before. Whew. And Cargill blinked, and I made a boatload of money. I got a standing ovation walking out of the pit. And I went from being just a regular trader to being, at the top of the food chain within, one trade.
Yeah. So Chris, has there been anything that's been surprising to you, getting to know Q and a little bit about trading and commodity markets?
Yes. How are you able to put all that into code?
That is the key. And, I'm essentially a walking mathematician and a walking trader. And I was always both. And I was actually working on computers back with, this is going to date me. I had a TRS-80 in 1977.
What?
Yeah, it had 4K RAM, not 4 megs, 4K. And, so, we had tape drives. I mean, it was just ancient stuff. But I wrote my little spread programs on a TRS-80. So I've been in a computer age since the very beginning.
So you've been leveraging technology to assist your trading the whole time?
Constantly. Because the thing is, if you think about the wheat market, I mean, you can trade wheat all the way out to 2023 right now. And then same for Kansas City and 2022 in Minneapolis. So you're talking about 20 futures and about 700 puts and calls.
It's a little hard to keep straight in your head.
Exactly. And that's why AI is taking over, is because there's just so much data. There's so much to absorb. And the thing is, AI, like we talk about, it absorbs all data, it never forgets, and it doesn't sleep.
Well, yeah, thanks for sharing a little bit of the trader stories with us and celebrating this anniversary.
Yep. And I haven't been in a fight for at least 3 years.
That's good.
Don't want to mess up those nails.
No.
All right. Well, thanks, Q. I think we'll keep the conversation going with the Triple Falls guys here. See if there's, get to know the production team behind Fish Wrap TV.
Excellent.
Hello, hello.
Well, hello.
We're the production crew. What's going on? Are we doing some questions?
Yeah. I'm curious how you guys got started in this field. What it's been like thus far, getting into the farm markets, and I imagine this is a little bit of a different field than your usual genre.
Yes. It is. Yes.
Well, first, I'm Jacob, and Willis over here. And I'll do the start.
Go for it.
So we met through just working regularly, and we started making music and having a lot of conversations about social media and stages and how to make some music happen in the local music scene. And we basically wanted to do stage shows that had more going on with the promotion on the front end, and we're just more connected on social media. So audio, video, promotion that went with that. And we ended up starting a podcast and getting a lot more into camera gear, which led us to...
That worked out pretty well for the 2020 change up. That was
Because when we started, it was just we just wanted to do stages. I think it wasn't exactly that thing, and the idea pretty quickly morphed into the other thing too.
Into sound stages now.
Yeah. Well, and this is a different sort of stage too, running a production with live streams and things like that. So it's been really fun to explore those different ways of capturing stuff and sharing. And it's really cool that we get to do that with this project here.
Yeah,
Certainly.
Yeah, well, it's been cool because we've tried out a number of different formats and kind of learning as we go, and then starting it officially today. So, it's been fun. You guys have been great to work with, and kind of experimenting with the format. Not too many TV shows filming here in Blue Earth, a town of about 3,500.
No. And we're just getting acquainted here with the area too, but it seems like a nice little spot to be, and we got a good studio here to do this in, and
you get some looks when we're shooting some people.
Yeah, right here on Main Street.
What's going on in there?
like something's going on. Yeah.
Yep.
Got some people watching sports back there.
Sports fans.
Well, any other questions for us today, Janie?
So has there been anything that surprised you, or anything that that you've learned from being part of these conversations about the markets and stuff that you can apply in other areas?
You want to go?
Yeah, sure. I guess going from being a total layperson who just knows nothing about these things to over the last 4 or 5 weeks here starting to understand the language a little bit has been really startling. Like the whole farm to table thing, and then the economy behind that is pretty startling to wrap your head around from a creative angle, because you want to make this the best show we can. So understanding that it's all kind of dizzying.
One of the things that you said a while ago that I thought really captured that was like with how much beer is available at all times. They were like, you can go into any store and just get one of your standard like light beers, and that's a massive amount of product that comes from somewhere, and obviously wheat's in there, and I'm sure that
People would be mad,
Yep.
if you walked in somewhere and say, "Can I get a Bud Light?" and they're like, "No." Like, it'd be an issue.
But yeah, I think, curious because you guys are based in Mankato, which is more of the regional hub for this area, but not sure how much you see of agriculture or interact with farming on a day-to-day, even though this region is surrounded and major industry is agriculture.
Yeah, and some of the conversations we've had about maybe shooting in some of those environments are different, but that's something we're certainly excited for to see that, because we haven't. I don't think we would have dreamed 6 months ago that we would be shooting at a giant farm somewhere, or
I'm
talking about
that,
egg.
though.
Yes, it's there's been a lot of conversations about how to make that come across well on film, and we're pretty stoked.
I'm going to learn how to fly drones. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Fly drones and drive tractor.
Ooh, that's a combo.
Yep. So, one of the things that, because I'm an artist as well, in addition to being farmer and tech entrepreneur, but what's always struck me is the similarities unexpectedly between farmers and artists, because you have something that's your livelihood, that, work in life, you're not going to a job and punching a time card. And a lot of your success is outside of your control, whether it's the grain markets and weather for farmers, or I guess similarly the market for your artwork and or music and stuff there too. So
I can totally see that parallel, especially if you, for example, put a bunch of time into something that it turned out nobody wanted.
Yep.
That could be that could not pan out well for you, and I'm sure people have, or maybe people ended up wanting it later, but it's hard to know. You do basically just have to bet on what people need. And
Well, that almost connects back to how we got started with the video stuff too. It's like we kind of took a bet on what was going to be helpful, and then 2020 happened, and it turned out to be very helpful, being able to live stream stuff and kind of capture, because it seems to be the way things are headed. So we've learned a lot as a production company in that way too.
So it's cool. And as we get more, we're renovating some buildings here in Blue Earth and getting some more events. And the concept for this is we've got gig fiber internet here running down Main Street. So the whole point was how we can stream things so you can connect with people even if we have low population density here. So it's been fun getting some of this going with you guys, and looking forward to showcasing more of the Southern Minnesota creativity.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we are too.
For anyone who's never ran a speed test and seen it hit 200 or 400 and then just keep
On the upload.
that, that's way cool.
Shout out to BevCom.
We're excited for that.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. And
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.